Manchester is a city that for many years was seen as one of the best alternatives for those who wanted to live in the United Kingdom without facing London's extreme prices. But in 2026, many residents say that reality has changed. What was once considered an affordable place to build a life now faces a series of problems that are transforming the experience of living in the city. Rental prices have skyrocketed, finding a home has become a competition, and more people feel that Manchester is becoming too expensive for those who work and live there. At the same time, some areas are facing visible problems, such as the increase in homelessness, concerns about drug-related issues, antisocial behaviour, and neighbourhoods that residents claim are being neglected. The city has also gone through a major demographic transformation over the past few decades. The growth of Indian, Pakistani, and Muslim communities has completely changed some neighbourhoods and sparked new debates about integration, cultural identity, and the future of Manchester. But there is another side of this transformation that often goes unnoticed. For some people, living in Manchester means facing a routine marked by loneliness, difficult weather, constant pressure, and the feeling of always chasing a better life. So how did Manchester reach this point? How did a city known for its opportunities and for being a more affordable alternative become a place where many residents feel they are losing their quality of life? In this documentary, we will explore the problems hidden behind Manchester's modern image and reveal the darker side that few people know about one of the United Kingdom's most important cities. One of the biggest problems in Manchester in 2026 is the housing crisis, which has transformed one of the United Kingdom's most affordable cities into a place that is becoming increasingly difficult to live in. For many years, Manchester was seen as a cheaper alternative to London. The city attracted students, workers, and families looking for better opportunity without having to face the outrageous prices of the British capital. But in recent years, this situation has started to change rapidly. With economic growth, the arrival of major companies, the increase in the number of young professionals, and the construction of thousands of new apartments, demand for housing has skyrocketed. The result has been a significant increase in property prices and rents, leaving many residents concerned about the future of the city. Today, one of the biggest complaints among residents is that finding a home at a fair price has become a real battle. Many properties receive dozens of interested applicants within just a few days, creating intense competition where some people have to accept paying higher prices or living in smaller homes farther away from the city centre. For many young people, the situation has become even more difficult. Even with a job and a stable income, moving out of their parents' home has become a challenge, as high rental prices, upfront deposits, and basic living costs make it harder to start an independent life. At the same time, Manchester continues to see a major expansion of modern buildings and luxury apartments, especially in central areas. Although these projects bring investment and change the appearance of the city, many residents question whether these new properties truly meet the needs of the local population, or whether they are being built mainly for investors and people with greater purchasing power. This transformation has also created a sense of loss among some long-time residents, who say that neighbourhoods that were once affordable are becoming increasingly expensive. For them, Manchester is growing, but there is a fear that the city may stop being a place where ordinary people can build a life. The growth of Indian, Pakistani, and Muslim communities is one of the most significant social changes in Manchester over the past few decades, and continues to be a widely debated topic among residents in 2026. The city has undergone a major demographic transformation, with the growth of communities mainly from South Asia, including people of Indian, Pakistani, and other backgrounds from countries with large Muslim populations. These communities have settled in different areas of Manchester, creating new neighbourhoods, businesses, restaurants, markets, and religious centres. Areas such as Rusholme, Longsight, and Cheetham Hill have become known for the strong presence of these communities with a cultural identity very different from the one traditionally associated with Manchester's industrial past. For many residents, This change has brought positive elements to the city, such as new businesses, cultural diversity, and a strong influence on local food and commerce. On the other hand, the rapid growth of these communities has also created debates about integration, cultural changes, and the transformation of certain neighbourhoods. Some long-time residents say they feel that certain areas have completely changed over the years, leading to discussions about local identity and how different cultures coexist within the same city. Another frequently discussed issue is the challenge of integration between communities. Questions such as language barriers, cultural differences, and the creation of highly concentrated communities in certain areas are part of the debate about how Manchester can maintain a multicultural society where different groups remain connected. The growth of Indian, Pakistani, and Muslim communities represents one of the greatest transformations Manchester has experienced in the 21st century. For some, it is a sign of a more diverse and global city. For others, it is a rapid change that raises concerns about identity, integration, and the future of the city. The growth of Indian, Pakistani, and Muslim communities is one of the most significant social changes in Manchester over the past few decades, and continues to be a widely debated topic among residents in 2026. The city has undergone a major demographic transformation, with the growth of communities mainly from South Asia, including people of Indian, Pakistani, and other backgrounds from countries with large Muslim populations. These communities have settled in different areas of Manchester, creating new neighbourhoods, businesses, restaurants, markets, and religious centres. Areas such as Rusholme, Longsight, and Cheetham Hill have become known for the strong presence of these communities with a cultural identity very different from the one traditionally associated with Manchester's industrial past. For many residents, this change has brought positive elements to the city, such as new businesses, cultural diversity, and a strong influence on local food and commerce. On the other hand, the rapid growth of these communities has also created debates about integration, cultural changes, and the transformation of certain neighbourhoods. Some long-time residents say they feel that certain areas have completely changed over the years, leading to discussions about local identity and how different cultures coexist within the same city. Another frequently discussed issue is the challenge of integration between communities. Questions such as language barriers, cultural differences, and the creation of highly concentrated communities in certain areas are part of the debate about how Manchester can maintain a multicultural society where different groups remain connected. The growth of Indian, Pakistani, and Muslim communities represents one of the greatest transformations Manchester has experienced in the 21st century. For some, it is a sign of a more diverse and global city. For others, it is a rapid change that raises concerns about identity, integration, and the future of the city. One of the issues that most concerns Manchester residents in 2026 is the increasing cases of antisocial behaviour and the feeling of insecurity in some areas of the city. Although Manchester is not considered an extremely dangerous city, many residents say that certain locations have started to face more visible problems, mainly related to petty crime, drug use, vandalism, and street disorder. One of the most frequently mentioned areas is the Northern Quarter, one of the city's most well-known neighbourhoods. In recent years, residents and business owners have raised concerns about drug-related activities, theft, and behaviours that affect the feeling of safety in the area. In response to community complaints, police carried out specific operations in the region to tackle crime, drug dealing, and antisocial behaviour. Among the main complaints are people using drugs in public spaces, street conflicts, vandalism, and problems involving intoxicated individuals during the night. For some residents, the problem is not only the crime itself, but also the feeling that certain places have lost part of their control and have become uncomfortable to visit. Another frequently mentioned area is Piccadilly Gardens, where authorities have identified concerns involving drugs, antisocial behaviour, and issues related to vulnerable people. Police consider these areas a priority because of the connection between drug activity, feelings of insecurity, and the impact on the use of public spaces. For business owners, these problems can affect the image of neighbourhoods and drive customers away. For residents, the main concern is whether the city can keep its public areas safe while dealing with increasingly complex social problems. One of the problems frequently mentioned by Manchester residents in 2026 is the feeling that some areas of the city are becoming dirtier and that the infrastructure is not keeping up with urban growth. One of the main complaints is the amount of litter accumulating on certain streets, especially in busier areas. Residents say that some public spaces appear to receive little maintenance, with damaged sidewalks, worn-out pavements, and locations that give a sense of neglect. Another widely mentioned issue is the condition of the city's infrastructure. Potholes, maintenance problems, and public areas in need of improvement are among the complaints from many residents who question whether the city's upkeep is keeping pace with the changes Manchester has experienced in recent years. Beyond the appearance of the streets, public transportation also causes dissatisfaction among part of the population. Many residents complain about ticket prices, delays, and inconsistent service quality, especially those who rely on buses and public transport every day to work or study. In local communities, some people say that certain areas appear to have been left behind, with a significant difference between neighbourhoods receiving investment and others that continue to face basic maintenance problems. For many residents, the issue is not only about appearance. Dirty streets, deteriorating infrastructure, and public services considered insufficient directly affect quality of life and create the feeling that some parts of Manchester are being neglected. One of the less visible problems in Manchester in 2026 is loneliness and the psychological pressure caused by urban life. Despite attracting thousands of students, young professionals, and workers every year, many people report that building a social life in the city can be more difficult than it seems. For many newcomers, starting a life in Manchester can mean being surrounded by thousands of people while feeling completely isolated at the same time. The routine of work, studies, and financial worries leaves many people with little time or energy to build deep connections. One of the main issues reported is the difficulty of forming new relationships and friendships. Many young people arrive in the city without a support network, far away from family and childhood friends, and end up facing a routine where most of their time is divided between work, transportation, and responsibilities. Financial pressure also has a major impact on this problem. With the rising cost of living, many people reduce their social activities because going out, travelling, or attending events has become more expensive. As a result, the difficulty of saving money also affects their social lives. In addition, life in a large city can create a constant feeling of competition and urgency. Many people feel that they always need to work harder, earn more money, and keep up with a fast-paced lifestyle, leaving little room for rest and personal connections. Research on young people in the United Kingdom also points to growing concerns related to loneliness, social isolation, and a lack of support within communities. One of the less discussed problems in Manchester in 2026 is the city's weather and the impact it has on the daily lives and well-being of many residents. Manchester is known for having a climate marked by frequent rain, cloudy skies, and long periods with little sunlight. For many people living in the city, this weather pattern becomes one of the biggest daily challenges, especially for those who are used to sunnier places. Frequent rainfall directly affects how people experience the city. Many residents report spending more time indoors during much of the year, as unstable weather makes outdoor activities, social gatherings, and leisure time more difficult. Another frequently mentioned issue is the lack of sunlight during the darker months of the year. Shorter days and constantly grey skies can affect the mood and energy levels of some people, increasing discussions about mental health and quality of life. For students and workers arriving from other countries, Manchester's climate can be an even bigger shock. Many people expect to find a new life in the city, but end up facing a difficult adjustment to the cold, humidity, and lack of sunny days. In addition, the weather influences the overall experience of living in the city. Parks, walks, and outdoor activities, which could be a way to relax and improve daily life, often become limited because of weather conditions. For some residents, the problem is not just the rain itself, but the combination of several factors: grey days, limited natural light, cold temperatures, and an urban routine already marked by work and financial pressure. One of the most common complaints among Manchester residents in 2026 is the city's transportation system, especially the high costs, delays, and difficulties involved in commuting every day. For many people, getting around Manchester has become a constant source of frustration. Although the city has a network of buses, trains, and a tram system, many residents say that public transportation does not always work as efficiently as it should for a city that continues to grow. One of the main complaints is the cost of fares. Many residents believe that transportation expenses are taking up an increasing portion of their budgets, especially for workers and students who need to use buses or trains every day. Delays are also a frequent concern. Residents report problems with schedules not being followed, unexpected changes, and services that can be unreliable, making it more difficult to plan their daily routines. Another issue mentioned is the connection between different areas of the city. While some regions have easier access to the city centre, residents of more distant neighbourhoods say that commuting can be time-consuming and complicated, especially for those who rely entirely on public transportation. Heavy traffic has also become a constant complaint. The increase in the number of people living and working in the region has caused some roads to become more congested, increasing the time spent on daily journeys. For many residents, the problem is not only reaching their destination, but also the amount of time lost every day while travelling. Long commutes, delays, and a lack of fast transportation options make some people feel that mobility within Manchester has become more difficult than it should be. And that brings this video to an end. Which of these secrets did you find the most surprising? Please share your thoughts about the darker side of Manchester in the comments section. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and leave a like. Your support means a lot to us. Click on the video appearing on your screen right now. I'm sure you'll enjoy the content. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.